Hello and welcome to Excel Essentials. In this session, we'll be covering if statements. So here we've got a table where it's got grades and whether they should manage employees. And here we have an if statement example of what it looks like. So an if statement is structured with the logical test first, so what you're either searching for or what you're comparing values against. Then what you want it to show if the value is true, and what you want it to show if the value is false. Now we're gonna look here and let's say only people of say grade 7 and higher, or let's just say people who are precisely a grade 8, for example, that they should only manage people. What we could do is we could just type in yes and yes, and then we've got to fill in no for everyone else who isn't a grade 8. And that will just take a little bit of time. So let's use the if statement to do that for us. So we're going to open up with an equals if, and we're going to open the brackets. Here is where we'll put our logical test. And here we're going to click on the cell, which is B3. And then we're looking for it to equal 8. So we're just going to do equals 8. And then we're going to do a comma. And here as well, we'll then put the value if it is true. So we want it to say yes. We can put it in the speech marks, but for the moment, I'm just going to put it as true. And the value of false, we're just going to put as false for the moment and close that. And here we can see, once we double click and it autofills down, we can see what values pass and what values fail the test. So as you can see, only these two passed, and the rest failed the test because they don't equal 8. Now, if I was to replace the true with yes, and the falses with no, and then double clicked on the cell to pass that down, we can now see it does that for us. So let's say, for example, this employee here ends up going to a grade 3, so I'm just going to copy and paste that. You can see that still remains as no. And then let's say this employee who's a grade 7 became a grade 8. We can now see once that's replaced it, we now get that changing to yes. So I'm just going to revert those two changes which we have done. But let's say, we want it to be people of grade 8 and higher. We can do that as well. Your comparisons in formulas will be an equals to. You also have a greater than, which is your greater than arrow, which will just look for it being bigger than a number. You've got your less than, you've got your greater than and equal to, and you've got your less than and equal to. So these are the comparisons you can use here to test your values that you're comparing. So let's say we want it to be people higher than a grade 7. So here we would do greater than, and we'll replace the 8 with a 7, and we'll hit enter. Once we bring that down, we can see people of grade 7 aren't allowed, so they get a no, but people in grade 10 and 9 now have yes against their grade. Let's say we wanted people lower than, say, a grade 5. The function also works in that regards too. And as you see, people of grade 1, 2, 3, and 4 all have yeses, and those of grade 5 have a no. But let's say we wanted people of a grade 5 and lower. We could write that as people lower than grade 6, to which we would see that turns into yes. Or we could do less than or equal to grade 5. Now, if we bring this down, we see the grade 5s now all say yes. And let's say we wanted people of grade 5 and higher to manage. We can also switch to that sign, and as you can see now, anything with a 5 and higher is now marked as yes. Stay tuned for more Excel Essentials.